All right. Well, I believe that we are live. So thank you all so much for tuning in. Welcome to the very first ever Empower Mom coffee break. We are so excited that you decided to take a break with us. So before we get started, of course, we're going to introduce ourselves. I'm Monet. Hey, I'm sure you probably saw our promo videos, so you already recognize us all. But I'm Monet. I'm your host for today. And I hail originally from New Rochelle, New York, born and raised, and I now reside in Washington, D.C. So I'm going to go ahead and let the rest of the ladies introduce themselves.
Well, I'm Maria Cosman from Nampa, Idaho. Greetings, everyone.
Hey, I'm Shanta Flowers. I'm on a plane, but I'm from Atlanta, and I just glad to be here. So, hey.
Okay, I'll just go ahead. I'm Greta Campagnolo. I live on Vancouver Island in British Columbia, Canada, and I am originally from the mainland, from Vancouver, BC, and traveled here and there, but I'm here now. This is home on the island, and I am super excited to be here and to actually, I'm not having a coffee, I'm having a tea. So I am a mother of 5 and expecting another in a few weeks, so that's why I'm drinking tea.
Awesome.
Hey, I'm Marisol. I'm a Jersey girl from the Garden State, and I am so excited to be here, but I'm even more excited that you decided to join us. I hope you get a lot of value. I hope to see you next week because it'll be at the same bat time, same bat channel, 2 p.m. Eastern on Thursdays. This is going to be a regular series, and I want to hear you all chime in and be here and join us because we're so excited to have you here with us.
Hi, I'm Princess Fizz. I'm from UK. I'm so excited to be here. When Monet actually told us of her plans, I literally jumped at it because it was just very in line with what I want to do as well. And it's just wonderful how this powerful women have just come together to bring you this program. And I'm so excited to get involved in this and just give you our experiences. So thank you, Monet.
Awesome. We got one little lady down at the end who's still got to introduce herself, and then we'll get started.
Melissa,
can you hear me?
Is that my turn now?
No, you're good, Princess.
I'm done, yeah.
Introduce yourself.
Is there anyone else left?
Yes, Melissa.
Oh, Melissa.
Uh-oh. I think she might be on mute. You know, sometimes we have a little technical difficulties around here, so we got Mama's on a plane, and we got all kinds of things going on today. But Melissa, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Awesome.
So I introduced myself.
Oh, okay. We didn't hear you.
You didn't?
No.
Oh. Guys, I'm Belissa Perez. I'm so excited to be here. We do have technical difficulties sometimes, but I'm from New York City, born and raised.
Awesome. All right, ladies. Well, the topic for today that we're going to start out with our hot topics is Halle Berry and her baby bump. And I know that this is going to be like near and dear to Greta's heart because if you guys didn't hear, Greta is expecting. So we're very excited because we're going to have a new addition to the Empowered Mom family very shortly soon here.
Yeah.
But I want to ask the ladies, I saw this picture floating around of Halle out with her daughter, and she's in this really cute maxi dress. She's got the baby bump and everything. But Halle's 47 years old. What do you think she's too old to be trying to have a baby now? Or, what are your feelings? What are your thoughts about this?
Well, I guess I could address that since I'm older than she is. And I have 11 kids. My last baby was at 45. So, I think anytime you want to have a baby, it's, I believe babies come from God, and it's a beautiful thing. She takes good care of herself. There's really no age limit, I don't think. You take good care of yourself.
Awesome. Yeah, totally. It looks beautiful. Like, I saw the picture and I was like, oh my God, I wish I looked like that when I was pregnant and I was in my 20s. You know, like, Hallie looks amazing, and she just looks radiant and she looks gorgeous. So yeah, I totally agree. And plus, Sarah in the Bible, she did it, but she was a lot older than 47. So
Yeah, like bicycle.
Well, I think sporting that belly bump is beautiful. I love that they do that. I mean, I don't know if you ladies have seen Diva Rengia's pictures, but she's another empowered, incredible woman that is having a baby, and she has beautiful dresses with her belly actually out and showing. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I say, hey, go for it, Hallie. That's wonderful.
I think one of the most important things is that if you are healthy enough to carry a child, then it really doesn't matter what age you are. If you're healthy and your body's able to carry a child, why not? And Halle Berry, I'm sorry, ladies, but
hi, we're back. We're not sure what happened, but we did warn you that sometimes you can have technical difficulties with this web stuff. So we were in the middle of talking about Hallie. So I think, Melissa, you were just sharing what you were about to say, so you can go ahead and finish up, and then we'll go on to our next hot topic for today.
Yeah, I was just saying that what's important is that if you're healthy enough to carry a baby, then by all means, go ahead and do it if that's what your heart desires. And I happened to mention about Halle Berry that she is hot. So, I mean, if she can do it, why not,
Absolutely. I totally agree. She is a fab mama. And congratulations, Hallie, because you look amazing, and that's awesome that you're bringing a new addition into the world. So I don't know if you ladies have heard about this viral photo that's going on. It's a receipt of a racial slur that was left as a tip for a young lady who worked at a Red Lobster in Tennessee. Now, this viral photo, people are kind of saying, is this a hoax? Is this real? Is this fake? What do you guys think about all this? And what do you think about the fact that racism isn't dead in 2013? I mean, goodness.
Wow.
Do you want me to share it, Monet?
You have the picture?
I do. I have the link up here.
Oh yeah, sure. You can go ahead and share it. And Maria, you can go ahead and share what you were going to share.
I just think that there is a lot of racism still, and it's just part of the human disease that we have. I hate racism, but I also think there's a lot of people that are super sensitive to it and will pick up stuff that isn't meant there. So there's kind of this balance. I wish that we could just get rid of it, but as long as we have people promoting it within cultures and within families, I think that it's going to take a lot more prayer and a lot more being a good example. When I was 13 years old, I saw Roots for the first time, and I never knew about racism until that opened my eyes up into it, and I wasn't even around that culture. But since then, I've learned that it doesn't matter what color your skin is. It doesn't matter where you're from. We need to kind of put blinders on, if you will, when we look at people. So we have a long ways to go, I think, in our societies all around the world for whoever. It doesn't matter whether they're white, black, or brown, Asian, Chinese. Look at within the Islam, you have Sunnis and the Shiites, and you have people fighting each other, civil wars. So it's just part of the human disease, I think.
Yeah.
I think that when we understand we're all part of the same race, we're the human race. I mean, we're all part of the same race. We're all human race. But I got to tell you, what disturbed me a lot about that particular picture is the fact that the girl got suspended for posting it. And I think it was her dad kept it up. She actually took her post down, but, she got this receipt, and, it really hurt her. She posted it to show racism is alive and well for those of you who say it's not. And, we can even go on to talk about all this voting stuff that's happening, that we won't go there. But racism is alive and well. She posts this receipt and then gets suspended from her job. Like, she has to be a victim of racism and get suspended for posting the receipt?
No, I wasn't aware that she got suspended.
Yeah,
that's the
they
trick.
couldn't just tell her she shouldn't have done that, take it down. They really had to suspend her. They did suspend her with pay, but I thought that was pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, very much so.
Blew me away.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I definitely think that it definitely was disheartening to me, and you know, for her to be a young woman who's, you know, trying to make some extra cash working at Red Lobster, you know, it was just so unnecessary and senseless. So, well, shout out to you, girl. You keep up the good work, and sorry that happened. You know, there's just people that you need to pray for out there. So, so lastly, for our hot topic.
Hang on, because I know Princess had something to say. Princess was going to chime in.
Okay, go ahead, Princess.
Go ahead, Princess.
Okay, I was just saying that it's just lack of education, really, and things that we don't understand, or maybe people that cultures or backgrounds we don't understand, we tend to kind of put a block in front of us and create an opinion on it, and it's all down to lack of education. So I think there's something that needs to be done institute-wise, where education should be very open. I mean, you've got internet, but a lot of people don't know really how to use the resources available. So it's just about one person taking massive action to make a change, really. And yeah, so unfortunately we have this in the world, but you know, it's our responsibility to do something about it, you know. So that's what I would like to say.
Love that, love that. I completely agree. It is our responsibility, because it takes each and every one of us, one person at a time, to make a change. So yeah. Now, lastly, I'm sorry. Did somebody else want to chime in?
I just wanted to say something too. I grew up in a well, my home was quite chaotic, and my father in particular was extremely racist, and that was something that, because my mother was the polar opposite of my dad, and this is actually, I'm getting a little bit emotional about it, because it is a really, like, it's just deep-rooted for me, because I grew up in a situation like that, and grew up with my dad just basically not accepting anybody, you know, our friends, and treating our friends just really not okay. And so for me, it's something that I believe starts in the home, that us as mothers and parents need to just really not even just talk about it, but show our children that, as Marisol said, we are one race, and that is the human race, and that there are different cultures, which is also a very beautiful thing, and to educate, again, as Princess Fizz was saying, that education is very important, and to educate our children on the different cultures, and embracing and accepting all these different colors, and colors not just by skin, but just the colors of the cultures, and to show them by each day we walk outside and how we treat people and everybody as equals, and we give love and share a smile and say hello, and just, you know, be open and welcoming to each and every person that comes, that meets us on our path. So
yeah, I love that. I definitely agree. You know, we definitely need to lead as examples as parents in our homes. You know, goes for moms and dads. So yeah, absolutely. So the last topic, and this has been a hot one for the last couple of weeks, and I'm sure probably a lot of you are tired of hearing about it, but yes, we are going to talk about our sweet little Hannah Montana that turned into God knows what. It started all with the awards performance, and now this video where she's just completely bearing it all. How do you moms feel about that? If that was your daughter, how would you feel? How do you all feel about having maybe children who grew up on Hannah Montana, and now this is their role model? What are your thoughts? What are your feelings on this?
I think it's very tricky. I want to say that, obviously, I don't think that any mom would see that and be proud of what she did. But someone did bring the attention that, you know what, she did grow up. She had to grow up sometime. She has a right to do whatever she wants as a grown child, young woman, whatever you want to call her. And she can make her own decisions, But somebody wrote on Facebook the other day, and she said, you know what, it's great. You can do what you want. You grew up, but my child is not going to watch you anymore. It's not, I think, a moral ethic. I mean, it just depends. But, that's something that I would personally be proud of, if one of my daughters was doing that. And I guess it depends, who you are and how you were brought up.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Anybody else have any feelings about it?
I felt violated. I felt sorry for her up on stage when I watched it. My kids were all, Mom, you got to see this. I'm like, I don't really want to see it, my older kids. And I saw it, all of my older kids were just like, what happened to her? We used to really like her. And it actually, honestly, made me want to pray for her, because a person that does that needs our prayers. And we can talk about it. Some of my kids watched it. I didn't want my little boys to watch it. But I just wanted to expose it and say, this is, her decision to make this. What do you think? And they said, that's just craziness. So they can make their own mind up. So you said some people grew up and thinking that's perfectly okay. I mean, honestly, in my home, there's a lot of stuff that happens that I wouldn't want to put on stage, because my kids do some crazy stuff. And it's not like it's, I don't know. I don't want to be too prudish, but I'm a Christian woman, and I want to make sure that, I bring that to the table with my kids. I want to let them know I'm not going to, like, you were saying, Greta, that, we have to appreciate other cultures. Well, sometimes we have to put up with other people. We can appreciate their culture, but we have to put up with other people, and we can pray for them. I don't really like to put the judgment on there. I'll say I think that's inappropriate. I totally thought it was inappropriate. But I'm not gonna be nasty to her. I'm not gonna think horrible about her. I'm just gonna pray for her.
That's awesome. Okay, so I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Can I just read out a couple of comments, Monet?
Oh, yeah,
There's loads of ladies pouring in. We've got Lisa Burnham. Exercising personal freedom is one thing, but let's have a little integrity for those little girls watching her, because that's the audience she's actually aiming at. So yeah, that's a bit concerning. Tenika, oh heck no, unacceptable about Miley Cyrus.
I'm with you.
Other ladies are just saying that this is an awesome show. Keep going, and they're excited to join.
Thank you guys. Thank you all so much for
I
tuning
just
in.
want to chime in about Miley myself, and Hannah Montana was a character that was created for her. I don't know if you guys remember a few years back when Jamie Foxx got in trouble for saying she was going to end up on a stripper pole, and he had to apologize. Well, I don't see anybody apologizing to Jamie Foxx right now, but
High five, Russell. That's a good one.
Just saying.
That's awesome. That's hilarious. Yeah. Well, I guess he made a very wise prediction on that one. Because it's not a stripper pole, but that wrecking ball is pretty close. I don't know if you guys have all seen that video, but it's wow. Okay.
I also heard of some kids who were actually disappointed at her performance.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
They didn't really expect that from her, I guess, because of the character that she did carry in the past. It wasn't something that it was like a shock.
She did break hearts. She did break little hearts with that, because people were so excited to see her perform, and her performance was just, something that parents had to say, leave the room, get out, turn the TV off.
Yeah. I think there's a limit, right, ladies? I mean, there's a limit. We've been given intellect, okay? And we are animals by nature, and we've been given intellect to actually define ourselves from animal behavior. And she really pushed it. And, I mean, you have to question you have to question the media. How could they allow her to even come on like that, encourage her, and actually have a concert on like that, you know? And it's just so much going on behind the scenes that we don't know about, and we have to question the intentions behind media as well. What are they actually trying to do, and why are they trying to corrupt the youngsters out there? So, lots of conspiracy.
Very true. I think that we all kind of have a responsibility in that as parents and the media, you know, all of us working together and protecting our next generations. But in the interest of time, ladies, because I know we can talk forever about this stuff, we do have to get on to our actual topic for the week. But before we go there, I do want to give a special shout out to our very, very first, this is exciting, our very, very first Facebook group member, because you can go and you can become a member of our Facebook group and get in on the topics and the conversation there. So even after we're done today, you can still go there and you can find out what the topic is for next week, and you can also still talk about what we've been talking about, what we're discussing today in the thread in our Facebook group. So our very first member of our Facebook group, Shirley Claire Beavis from Olympia, Washington, with her two beautiful little boys. We welcome you to the group and thank you for being our very, very first group member. So we're excited about that. So now on to our topic for the week. If you guys haven't seen the post around on Facebook or somewhere in social media, the topic for this week that we're going to discuss is you can't be a mom and ... Now, basically what that is all about is, for some reason, somewhere along the line, women have been ingrained, and this is not just American women or women from the UK or, you know, black women or white women or Asian women. This is women, period, not any specific group, have been ingrained and grew up believing and thinking that you can't be a mom and be a career woman, or you can't be a mom and be a business owner, or you can't be a mom and be an entertainment artist, because you just can't do both. You have to choose. You have to either choose between being a mom and having a family or your dreams. Why this is, we don't know, but we're about to have a conversation about it. Who wants to take it?
Wow. I'll start. I came from, basically, I've been a mom this whole time. I was married for 24 years, a homeschool mom, and I kind of felt like that was a mom's responsibility, was to just be at home. But since I've gotten a divorce and had no money and had no job and had no life, I was like, I had to rediscover who I am, because I just wrapped it up in my kids, which is not a bad thing to be that kind of a mom. But I think we should encourage women to dream, and that will be the leaders for their children to be dreamers, to be people who take action. Because if they watch mom take action and they watch mom be successful, not to the detriment of the family, but to the betterment of the family, I think that's my opinion.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Greta, I see you nodding your head. You look like you wanted to chime in.
I was just agreeing with Maria there. I think that, this is something that I've talked about before, just the fact of when becoming a mom, it's a process. You're not just, it's like, a mother is born when she has her first child. You have no idea what it's like, and you really almost like at that moment, everything that you believed in before becoming a mother is like totally flipped. Like you don't think about the same things. The things that were important to you before are no longer even going through your mind, really. It's incredible. It's just like the snap of a finger. That baby pops out and boom, it's like you're this new person, and rediscovering all these strengths and these abilities that we have, and patience comes in, and all these different things, and then you go through these. For me, I went through these years of I'm a mom. Okay, this is like still it took like a few years of really stepping into that role and really discovering my role as a mom, and then again, and then losing myself, and then having to, again, like Maria was saying, rediscovering yourself again, and then sort of realizing that you've lost sort of your passions and your dreams. You don't, when people ask you what you like, it's like, I don't know. I just
Yeah, totally.
dishes, and it's like, it's go, 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 and you get caught in this realm of just all these duties that we have to do as a mom, and these conversations that we have with our kids, and we're not having very many adult conversations anymore. And then, you know, it wasn't really until I came into the Superwoman group and the Empower Network that I started to realize, hey, I'm still here. Greta's still here. I value myself as a mother, and that is like probably my top passion in my life. But that doesn't mean that I can't do other things, and that's when I realized the importance of taking care of myself, rediscovering the things that I love, and knowing that I can actually build a business from those things. And so,
yeah, I like what you ladies are saying about the whole reintroducing yourself to yourself, because I really, I went through that too. So, anybody else?
I think we can do it all. Sorry, I just have to say that. We can do anything that we want, no matter what.
Absolutely.
Just
I
what
was
we
just
believe.
going to say, you know me, the word can't is just not in my vocabulary. That's just not happening.
Yes,
He says
you know
can't, and
that.
I'm like, yeah, well, let's see about that. So even before I was diagnosed, and some of you know my story that I've been battling cancer for over 13 years, but even before then, when I had my kids, I had this dream, because what I saw in the school system is that a lot of the kids who had money, who had computers at home, because at this time, this is, you know, my oldest daughter is 30, there were no computers in the school. The technology wasn't there except for the kids who had money. And so what I saw was the kids who had the technology and had the ability to use those educational programs were really starting to stretch way ahead of the kids who didn't. And so it was showing in their grades, and I was working on the PTA and with the Board of Education and on the Education Committee of the NAACP. And in seeing this, I really had this vision to close the gap. And people were telling me, how are you going to start up a business? You have all these kids. You can't just start a business, you know. At the time, I was working with Stevens Institute of Technology and doing some computer training, and I'm like, well, why not? Well, how are you going to do that? You don't have the overhead to do that. Well, no problem. They have the overhead. I'll do satellite campuses, and I'll find inner city daycares, and I'll just put satellite campuses and bring computers to them. I mean, yeah, I can't afford a big building right now, but, you know, we'll work up to it. So the word can't was not in my vocabulary. And what happened with my kids is that they saw what we were doing. They saw the dream, they saw the vision, and they were right along with us. Mm-hmm. And it's the funniest thing, because when my son was in pre-K, because he was surrounded with this technology, I was dragging him to satellite campuses all over the place with me from the time he was, you know, big enough to walk. And so when he was in pre-K, he had a teacher whose PIP, personal improvement plan, was to use the computer. And he literally, at 3 years old, taught her how to use the computer. Hey, she still has a banner. As a matter of fact, she actually retired, but she still has the banner that he made for the classroom that they made together on the computer.
That is so funny.
And somebody was like, oh, yeah, you know, Rafi said he taught his teacher how to use the computer when he was 3. And I'm like, go ask Miss Price. He did.
You know, I love that.
So, you know, when we start putting in our heads that we can't do something, sometimes it freezes our feet and we actually decide that we can't. But when we take that word, when we move that word, and instead of saying we can't, just figuring out how. You know what I mean? Instead of saying I can't, say, how can I? And it makes all the difference in the world. So there's no, I'm a mom, so I can't. It's I'm a mom, so how can I?
Absolutely.
Whatever your dreams, your goals, whatever you're aspiring to do, it's not I can't, it's how can I? And believe me, you'll find a way when you want it bad enough.
I love that. And on that note, thank you, Marisol, because we unfortunately have run out of time. I can't believe that time went by that fast. I'm so sad.
Me too.
But if you want to
Just a quick
this conversation, you can go ahead and join the Facebook group. There's a thread there where we can continue to talk about this topic. I'm sorry, what is the topic? I don't even know where my notes. Okay, you can't be a mom and ... You can go on the thread and share your thoughts about that, and check in with us next week, Thursday, same time, same place. We'll be here. We'll post the next topic in our Facebook group and on our fan page, so like our fan page too. And thank you, ladies. I can't believe the first coffee break is over. I'm kind of sad now.
I didn't see anybody sip where's your mug? There we are.
Well, with that, thank you all so much for tuning in. This is Monet again, and remember to always be a mommy inspired. Take care.
Bye.